It is definitely interesting, and I think it's what puts the NFL ahead. Even the NBA. The NBA likes to pride themselves on their offseason. They like to say players can move anywhere at any time. We're the NBA. It's the NFL beats them in that, I think, because it's not just about free agency. It's about trades. Free agency, is one thing because a player leaves, but another one, a trade, you get value back for a certain player, and then both teams can debate and decide, what they got. And I think that's what makes it better is the NFL actually has trades going on. I think that's one aspect. But I also think football is just more popular than basketball, and that's going to stay that way for a while. I mean, not forever, but for a while. Are the Browns good?
Well, that's where I thought we should start, is in the AFC North, because there's so many storylines.
Vegas has the Browns as the odds-on favorite to win the division right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because this is something the Steelers have never been an underdog, and now they are. Now, granted, they don't have Antonio Brown.
The 3 Bs are gone.
Juju is a really good receiver, but can he do what he's been doing now that AB's not there? James Conner's a good running back. Is he Le'Veon, though? No. He's still really good. I like him as a starting back on a team. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. He's a very good running back, but we'll see how Big Ben does again this year. If they can't do it, I don't know if I trust Baltimore, even though Baltimore made some good signings. Mark Ingram and Earl Thomas, they lost a lot of defensive talent this season.
Zadarius Smith.
C.J. Mosley, Terrell Suggs, all those guys are gone. Oh, but we got Earl Thomas. We still have Lamar Jackson, who can't really throw
They also
the
lost
ball.
Eric Weddle, too.
They lost Eric Weddle to the Rams, and they brought in Mark Ingram. So they have a good starting back now. I do like their offensive running game, but I think they're going to be pretty run-predicated, and I don't think that's going to go so well for them, because when they need to pass, Lamar Jackson kind of surprised me with how well he threw the ball against the Chargers in the playoff game when they were down by as much as they were. And I think it surprised the Chargers as well, because the Chargers should have had him put away far before the game ended, and it ended up coming down to like the last drive of the game where you had to get a stop. But Lamar Jackson, if he can progress as a thrower, then that'll be an interesting storyline to watch. But the Browns, they have made some great signings and trades, and Baker's not a great quarterback, but he can probably do the job with guys like Kareem Hunt after 8 games, Nick Chubb in the backfield, as well as now Odell Beckham. If you hadn't heard that, I don't know why you're listening to a sports talk show, because you clearly don't care about sports as
Plus,
it is.
they got Olivier Vernon, they got Shelton Richardson.
They already have Jarvis Landry and David Njoku, so their offense is going to be pretty good.
They made one mistake, though. They made one mistake, and that was in their secondary.
Cutting Breon Body Calhoun.
They let go of Breon Body Calhoun.
The Browns, there's a lot of hype around them right now. I don't think they're going to be this 13-3 team, because their coach is the main concern for me. He's never been an actual coach. He was an interim coach. He's never been an actual coach.
He wasn't even the interim head coach. The interim head coach was Greg Williams.
No, yeah, he was an interim coach. He wasn't the interim head coach.
Yeah.
A coordinator, interim coordinator, then, I should say. But I don't know if I trust Freddie Kitchens. We'll see where it goes. This has turned into kind of the AFC West of last year, where we were talking about what's this division going to be, how well is Mahomes going to do, how is Gruden going to do in his first year, what are the Broncos going to do with Keenum, and they're probably going to be average, but this is one of the more interesting divisions to follow in the offseason for sure. The Browns have kind of become America's team in a way, because it's kind of hard to hate them because they haven't really done anything, and now everybody's like, wow, the Browns coming from 0-16 to possible playoff contenders in a couple seasons, and everybody's like, oh, they're the third best team in the AFC now, and I'm like, really? Really? They have the third highest odds to win the Super Bowl in the AFC?
I mean, there's just a lot of things. I think, like you said, the head coach is the biggest one. Freddie Kitchens started last season as the quarterback coach, and then the team fired Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley, at which point he became the interim offensive coordinator. And then his relationship with Baker got him the head coaching job, which, by the way, Vikings offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski did get 2 interviews for with the team. But again, I think there were not a lot of great head coaching candidates last year. Bruce Arians was the best, and he surprised me by going to Tampa. But with the Browns and this team, their organization has been so poorly run for years. when you look at the GMs and the coaches that have just been revolving doors and the ownership and just, the organization, they haven't just been bad, they've been laughably bad. And John Dorsey's done a good job as GM, but he was kind of set up for that success with all the money they had and all the draft picks they had loaded up. But here's the thing with this. The Cleveland Browns have been a poorly run organization for a very long time. And until they prove me otherwise, I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
It's like Gonzaga or Villanova.
It's like
you gotta prove it to me before I'm going to believe you.
The Browns haven't won a playoff game in this millennia. Mm-hmm. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2002, 2006, somewhere around there. It's been a long time. You can't tell me that they're going to make the playoffs, they'll be fine, and not only that, they're going to go on a deep Super Bowl run. Like the Rams kind of tried to construct themselves a Super Bowl team, or a super team, I should say, and even they couldn't win the Super Bowl. So it's easy to buy into the hype of some of these teams, but again, until I actually see them do it, until I see Baker lead the team to 12-4, 11-5, 10-6, any above, first of all, a winning season, because they haven't had that in years.
They had a winning season this year, didn't they? I thought they were 8-7-1.
I think
they were 7-8-1, weren't they? Yep.
Yeah. So
they would have had a winning season had they beat the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. So again, I don't trust this organization right now. So I think that until they prove it, until you actually can see them play, until you see that Baker and Odell and Landry and Chubb and Hunt, until you can see that offense come together and you can see them play along with that but people talk about the offense of the Browns. That defense has potential to be really good. The pass rush with Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, and then Denzel Ward leading the secondary. The Browns, their defense is going to, look out opposing quarterbacks because their pass rush is coming.
Yeah.
They have a pretty good team right now. So, again, but like you said with the Browns, and I think the Lions had an underratedly good offseason too, but nobody cares because they're the Lions. They got Trey Flowers. They got some, they beefed up their pass rush a bit. They got some more Patriot players in there. But again, until the Lions are another poorly run team, until you actually see them play good football, I'm not going to say that the Lions are now on the cusp of becoming a playoff team again.